Ever curious about how your grandparents maintained a pristine home without dropping big money on expensive cleaning supplies? Or how they extended the life of everything without relying on YouTube guides and online tips? Well, it turns out they possessed a treasure trove of household knowledge that somehow slipped through the cracks in our race to purchase the newest gadget for every conceivable issue. Today, we're revealing 25 brilliant household hacks that our grandparents relied on daily. And honestly, you'll be amazed nobody shared these with you earlier. Some are so straightforward, they'll probably make you chuckle, but believe me, they outperform most of the pricey products we purchase nowadays. So, have a pen ready because you'll definitely want to jot these down. And hey, if this helps you save just $5 on your next shopping run, do us a solid and smash that like button. It genuinely supports the channel. Let's dive right in. Number 25, baking soda for cleaning. Here's something your grandmother likely stocked by the pound in her cupboard. Baking soda. Not for baking purposes, understand, but for scrubbing practically anything. This product is like the ultimate multi-purpose household item. Dealing with a dirty sink? Sprinkle some baking soda, add a bit of water to create a paste, and witness years of buildup vanish. The reality is, baking soda serves as a natural scrubbing agent that's mild enough to avoid scratching surfaces, yet powerful enough to eliminate persistent dirt. Your grandma likely cleaned her stovetop with this following every Sunday meal. And here's the best part. It runs about 50 cents a container compared to those premium cleaners that set you back $5 or $6. She'd apply it to her oven as well. Create a thick paste, leave it sitting overnight, and come morning, all that caked-on grease simply wipes clean. No aggressive chemicals, no overpowering vapors that make you think you need protective gear. Just plain old sodium bicarbonate performing what it does perfectly. The truly smart aspect is that baking soda genuinely neutralizes smells instead of simply masking them. So, when Grandma scrubbed with it, things didn't just appear clean, they genuinely were clean. Additionally, if you happen to get some on your skin or even consumed a tiny amount, no worries. Attempt that with contemporary oven cleaner and you'll be dialing poison control. Number 24. Vinegar for fabric softener. Now, this one may sound peculiar initially, putting vinegar in your washer, but listen to this. Your grandmother understood that white vinegar was essentially liquid treasure regarding laundry. Skip those costly fabric softeners with their synthetic fragrances and chemicals with unpronounceable names. Simply add half a cup of white vinegar into the fabric softener compartment and watch it perform its magic. The acetic acid in vinegar dissolves soap buildup that causes clothes to feel rigid. It genuinely strips away all that remaining detergent that's been accumulating in your fabrics for ages. And here's what's genuinely incredible. It doesn't leave your clothes smelling like a salad. The vinegar odor entirely vanishes once everything dries. Actually, it removes odors. Have gym clothes that still smell unpleasant even after washing? Vinegar handles that. Mildew odor in your towels? Eliminated. Additionally, and this is the aspect that would make your grandma satisfied, it helps maintain the elasticity in your garments. So those pricey yoga pants you purchased will genuinely last longer. The vinegar also helps stop colors from dulling and decreases static electricity. Essentially, it accomplishes everything fabric softener promises to do, but superior and for approximately 1/10 of the cost. Number 23. Toothpaste to clean silver. Your grandparents' generation didn't rush out and purchase specialty silver polish whenever the fine silverware began looking somewhat tarnished. Nope. They reached for a tube of ordinary old toothpaste. Not the gel variety, understand, but the white paste type. This technique works because toothpaste includes mild abrasives that are formulated to clean your teeth without harming the enamel. It happens those same gentle abrasives are ideal for eliminating tarnish from silver. Just squeeze a small quantity onto a soft cloth, Massage it gently on your silver jewelry or silverware and observe decades of tarnish vanish like magic. The important word here is gently. You're not scouring a scorched pan. The toothpaste performs most of the work for you. After you've covered the item, rinse it with warm water and dry it with a soft cloth. Done. It appears like you just purchased it from the jewelry shop. Your grandmother likely cleaned her wedding ring this way every couple months. And here's an extra benefit. It works on other metals as well. Have some brass candlesticks that have deteriorated? Toothpaste. Copper bottom pots appearing dull? Toothpaste. It's essentially a miracle solution for any metal that's lost its brilliance. Number 22. Repurpose old coffee grounds. Coffee grounds, most of us simply discard them in the garbage without another thought. But your grandparents, they recognized value in those used grounds. First off, coffee grounds are an amazing deodorizer. Place a bowl of dried grounds in your refrigerator and it'll absorb smells better than baking soda. Honestly, the nitrogen in coffee genuinely helps neutralize odors rather than simply covering them up. Have garlic or onion smell on your hands after preparing food. Scrub some coffee grounds on them, gone immediately. But hold on, there's more. Coffee grounds create an excellent exfoliant for your skin. Combine them with a little coconut oil, and you've created a body scrub that costs pennies compared to those premium ones at the cosmetic store. The caffeine in the grounds can even help diminish the appearance of cellulite temporarily by enhancing blood circulation to the area. Your grandmother likely didn't understand the science behind it, but she understood it worked. And if you garden, oh my, plants adore this material. Coffee grounds are abundant in nitrogen, which plants require to flourish. Acid-loving plants like azaleas, rhododendrons, and blueberries genuinely thrive when you incorporate coffee grounds to their soil. Just scatter them around the plant's base or blend them into your compost. Your grandparents likely had the most attractive garden on the street, and this was part of their formula. Number 21. Citrus peels to freshen garbage disposal. That garbage disposal in your sink can begin smelling like, well, refuse. But before you purchase those expensive disposal cleaning pods, attempt what your grandma did. Save your lemon and orange peels. Every time you utilize a lemon for cooking or consume an orange, don't discard that peel in the trash. Drop it down the disposal instead. The natural oils in citrus peels are remarkably powerful deodorizers. Additionally, the peels themselves help scrub the blades as they get pulverized. It's like providing your disposal a spa session. The citric acid cuts through grease and dirt that accumulates over time, while the fresh citrus fragrance makes your entire kitchen smell wonderful. Here's the expert tip your grandma understood. Freeze the peels in ice cube trays with a little water. The ice helps sharpen the disposal blades, while the frozen citrus pieces give everything a thorough clean. Drop a couple of these citrus ice cubes down there once weekly, and your disposal will never smell foul again. And unlike chemical cleaners, you're not introducing anything damaging into the water system. It's entirely natural, costs nothing additional since you were going to discard the peels anyway, and it genuinely works superior to most commercial products. Number 20. Newspaper for cleaning windows. Paper towels for windows? Your grandparents would chuckle at that. They understood the trick to streak-free windows was yesterday's newspaper. Sounds strange, right? But there's genuinely science behind this. Newspaper doesn't leave lint behind like paper towels do. The ink functions as a mild abrasive that helps eliminate stubborn spots, and the paper itself is just absorbent enough to soak up the cleaning solution without disintegrating. Here's how Grandma accomplished it. Spray your window with a mixture of water and a bit of vinegar, then crumple up a sheet of newspaper and wipe in circular motions. The secret is the crumpling. It creates numerous edges that grab onto dirt and grime. Additionally, newspaper is thinner than paper towels, so you can sense exactly where you need to apply more pressure. The greatest part? You're recycling something you were going to discard anyway. Your grandparents didn't label it being eco-friendly. They labeled it being intelligent with money. One Sunday, paper could clean every window in the home. Attempt doing that with a roll of paper towels that costs $4. And here's something else. The newspaper ink genuinely leaves an invisible coating that helps repel dust, so your windows remain cleaner longer. Number 19. Old socks as dusting mitts. Before there were microfiber cloths and static-charged dusting wands, there were old socks. Your grandmother never discarded a sock with a hole in it. That sock just advanced to a new roll. Slip it over your hand like a mitt, and suddenly you've acquired the ideal dusting tool. The fabric of a worn sock is genuinely ideal for capturing dust. It's soft enough not to damage surfaces, but has sufficient texture to grab onto dust particles. Additionally, you can reach into tight spaces that those fancy dusting tools can't access. Ceiling fan blades? Easy. Just slip the sock over each blade and slide it along. All the dust gets captured inside the sock instead of dropping on your furniture. Blinds are even superior. Put a sock on each hand, spray a little furniture polish on them, and you can clean both sides of the blind slats simultaneously. What would require 20 minutes with a regular cloth requires 5 minutes with the sock method. Your grandma likely had an entire drawer of these dusting socks, different ones for different tasks. And when they became too dirty, just toss them in the washing machine and they're good as new. Well, good as old, but you understand the concept. Number 18. Cornstarch for carpet cleaning. Carpet stains were no challenge for your grandmother's cornstarch collection. This material is essentially the overlooked champion of household cleaning. Have a greasy stain on your carpet? Don't worry, and definitely don't rub it in deeper with water. Reach for the cornstarch instead. Sprinkle a generous quantity directly on the stain and let it rest for at least 15 minutes. The cornstarch absorbs the oil like a sponge, then simply vacuum it up. The stain lifts up with the powder. It's like magic, except it's just science. Your grandma likely kept a box of cornstarch specifically for cleaning emergencies, but here's where it becomes even superior. Cornstarch also functions as a carpet deodorizer. Combine it with a few drops of essential oil, sprinkle it all over your carpet, let it sit for half an hour, then vacuum. Your carpets will smell fresh without any of those synthetic fragrances that trigger allergies. And if you've got pets, this is a game changer. Cornstarch can neutralize pet smells better than most commercial products. Additionally, it's entirely safe if your dog or cat happens to walk through it. Attempt claiming that about chemical carpet cleaners. The cost difference is remarkable too. A box of cornstarch costs approximately $2 and can clean your carpets multiple times. Number 17. Save leftover bread for crumbs. Discarding stale bread was essentially a violation in your grandparents' home. That slightly hard loaf wasn't garbage. It was the foundation of next week's meatloaf or breadcrumb coating for chicken or stuffing for Sunday dinner. They comprehended something we've forgotten. Stale bread is genuinely more beneficial than fresh bread for certain purposes. Here's what they did. Take that day-old bread, tear it into chunks, and pulse it in a food processor. Or, if you're genuinely old school like Grandma, grate it on a box grater. Now, you've got fresh breadcrumbs that taste 10 times superior to those sandy things in a can. Store them in the freezer, and they last for months. But breadcrumbs were just the start. Stale bread creates the best French toast because it soaks up the egg mixture without disintegrating. It creates superior bread pudding for the same reason. And crushed up with some herbs and olive oil, it becomes the ideal topping for casseroles. Your grandmother likely had a specific drawer or tin where all the bread ends went. Nothing was discarded. Number 16. Lemon juice for stain removal. Before there was OxyClean, there was lemon juice. Your grandmother understood that this simple citrus fruit was essentially bleach from nature. Have a stubborn stain on a white shirt? Squeeze some lemon juice on it, let it sit in the sun for an hour, then wash as normal. The citric acid breaks down the stain while the sun amplifies the bleaching effect. It's like a 1-2 combination from Mother Nature herself. Coffee stains, wine stains, grass stains, they all surrender to lemon juice. But here's what's genuinely clever. Lemon juice also functions on hard surfaces. Those yellow stains in your bathtub, lemon juice and salt. The cutting board that's deteriorated, lemon juice and coarse salt scrub, and it appears brand new. Your grandma likely went through lemons like crazy, and not just for her tea. She understood that lemon juice could eliminate rust stains from clothes, brighten whites without harsh chemicals, and even remove those mystery stains that nobody wants to discuss. Combine lemon juice with cream of tartar, and you've created a paste that can tackle almost any stain on any surface. Number 15. Cucumber for removing pests. This one sounds like an old wives' tale, but it's genuinely true. Cucumbers repel ants and cockroaches. Your grandmother didn't require an exterminator. She had the produce aisle. Here's why it functions. Cucumbers contain compounds that ants and roaches genuinely hate. Position cucumber slices or peels near ant entry points, in your pantry, or anywhere you've spotted these pests, and watch them vanish. They won't cross that cucumber barrier. It's like an invisible force field created from salad ingredients. The greatest part is it's entirely safe around children and pets. No toxic sprays, no chemical residue, just cucumber doing what cucumber does. Your grandma likely kept cucumber peels specifically for this purpose. After preparing her cucumber sandwiches, those peels went straight to strategic locations around the kitchen. But hold on, it becomes superior. Cucumber slices also function in the garden to deter certain pests. Slugs and snails won't approach them. Position rings of cucumber slices around plants you want to protect. It's organic pest control that you can consume when you're finished. Number 14. Aluminum foil for sharpening scissors. Dull scissors were never an issue in your grandparents' home, and they didn't possess a fancy scissor sharpener either. They had aluminum foil. Grab a sheet of foil, fold it over several times so you have approximately 6 to 8 layers, then cut through it with your dull scissors. Make long cuts from base to tip. After roughly 10 cuts, your scissors are sharp again. It's genuinely mind-blowing how effectively this works. The foil functions as a very fine sharpening stone, honing the blade edges as you cut. Your grandmother likely sharpened every pair of scissors in the home this way: sewing scissors, kitchen shears, even those tiny nail scissors. All it required was a piece of foil that cost maybe 2 cents. But here's another foil technique she understood. Crumpled aluminum foil creates an excellent scrubber for your grill or oven racks. It's abrasive enough to eliminate burnt-on food, but won't scratch the metal like steel wool might. And if you genuinely want to blow your mind, a ball of aluminum foil in your dryer reduces static. Your grandparents didn't understand why it worked. They just understood it did. Number 13. Rubber band to open jars. That stubborn pickle jar was no challenge for Grandma's rubber band technique. While we're out here purchasing jar-opening gadgets and running jars under hot water, she just grabbed a thick rubber band. Wrap it around the lid of the jar, and suddenly you've acquired superhuman grip strength. The rubber band increases friction dramatically, making it almost impossible for your hand to slip. This simple technique has likely prevented more jar-related frustration than any gadget ever invented. Your grandmother likely kept a few thick rubber bands in her kitchen drawer specifically for this purpose. But she didn't stop there. Rubber bands had dozens of applications in her household collection. Wrap one around a slipping cutting board to keep it in place. Position them around the ends of hangers to keep clothes from sliding off. Use them to keep cabinet doors closed if the latch is damaged. She even used them to mark different family members' drinking glasses at parties. Different colored bands meant different people. No confusion, no extra dishes to wash. The versatility of a simple rubber band in your grandparents' hands was genuinely something to witness. Number 12. Repurpose old t-shirts for cleaning rags. Your grandparents never purchased cleaning rags, ever. Why would they when every worn-out t-shirt was a future cleaning cloth waiting to happen? That shirt with the hole under the arm didn't go in the trash. It went to the rag drawer, cut into squares. Old t-shirts create the best cleaning rags imaginable. The cotton is soft enough for delicate surfaces, but durable enough for tough tasks. They're absorbent, washable, and when they finally fall apart after months of use, you don't feel guilty discarding them because they already had a full life as clothing. Your grandma likely had an entire system. White shirts became kitchen rags. Colored shirts were for dirty jobs, like cleaning the car or wiping up spills in the garage. The genuinely soft ones were saved for dusting furniture, and flannel shirts. Those were gold, perfect for polishing glass and mirrors without leaving lint. This wasn't just about being thrifty, though that was certainly part of it. These homemade rags genuinely worked superior to store-bought ones. They'd been washed dozens of times, so they were incredibly absorbent. Number 11. Shoe polish to restore leather. That expensive leather restoration kit at the furniture store? Your grandfather would have chuckled at it. He had shoe polish, and that's all he required. Black shoe polish for black leather furniture, brown for brown, clear for everything else. A little polish, a soft cloth, and some elbow grease could make a 20-year-old leather chair appear like it just came from the showroom. The secret was regular maintenance. He didn't wait for the leather to crack and fade. Every few months, out came the shoe polish. It conditions the leather, fills in small scratches, and adds a protective layer against future damage. Your leather jacket appearing a bit worse for wear? Shoe polish. Leather purse lost its luster? Shoe polish. Even leather car seats received the shoe polish treatment. It's the same principle. Leather is leather, whether it's on your feet or your furniture. But here's the genuinely clever part. Shoe polish can color match small repairs. Have a scratch on your leather couch? Find the right shade of polish, and it practically vanishes. Number 10. Coffee grounds to fertilize plants. We're back to coffee grounds, but this time for your garden. Your grandparents didn't understand the science, but they understood their roses appeared amazing when they dumped their morning coffee grounds around them. It happens coffee grounds are essentially plant steroids. They're abundant in nitrogen, which plants require for healthy growth. They also contain calcium, potassium, iron, phosphorus, magnesium, and chromium. It's like a multivitamin for your garden, but you can't simply dump a pile of grounds and call it a day. Your grandma understood to blend them into the soil or compost them first. Fresh grounds are acidic, which acid-loving plants like azaleas, rhododendrons, and blueberries genuinely love. But even plants that prefer neutral soil benefit from composted coffee grounds. Here's something else she likely figured out through trial and error. Coffee grounds repel certain pests. Slugs and snails hate crawling over them. Cats avoid gardens with coffee grounds scattered around. Some people even claim it keeps rabbits away. And if you create a ring of grounds around plants, it can deter cutworms and other crawling pests. The nitrogen in coffee grounds also accelerates composting. Your grandparents' compost pile likely had every morning's coffee grounds added to it. Number 9. Storing potatoes with apples. This one seems entirely random until you comprehend the science. Your grandmother stored apples with her potatoes to keep them from sprouting. Sounds bizarre, but it functions. Apples release ethylene gas, which prevents potatoes from sprouting. 1 apple for every 10 pounds of potatoes, and those spuds stay fresh for weeks longer than they would otherwise. Your grandma's root cellar or pantry likely had this arrangement, and she might not have even understood why it worked, just that it did. But here's where it becomes interesting. She also understood never to store certain things together. Onions and potatoes? Never. Onions release moisture and gases that make potatoes rot faster. Bananas away from everything because they release so much ethylene they'll make everything around them ripen too quickly. She had an entire mental map of what could be stored together and what needed to be kept apart. This knowledge saved money and reduced waste. In an era before preservatives and year-round grocery availability, understanding how to store food properly was essential. Those potatoes might need to last all winter. That apple arrangement wasn't just clever, it was survival. Number 8. Rubbing alcohol for cleaning glass and mirrors. Windex is expensive and full of chemicals. Your grandparents just used rubbing alcohol mixed with water, equal parts in a spray bottle. Maybe add a drop of dish soap if things are genuinely grimy. This mixture cuts through fingerprints, hairspray residue, and toothpaste splatters like nobody's business. The alcohol evaporates quickly, leaving no streaks behind. Your grandmother likely cleaned every mirror and window in the home with this simple mixture. It cost pennies compared to commercial glass cleaners and worked just as effectively, if not superior. Additionally, rubbing alcohol disinfects as it cleans, so those bathroom mirrors weren't just streak-free, they were germ-free too. But rubbing alcohol's usefulness didn't stop at glass. Have permanent marker on something? Rubbing alcohol removes it. Sticky residue from labels? Rubbing alcohol? Ink stains on clothes? Dab with rubbing alcohol before washing? It even removes grass stains from kids' clothes. Your grandparents likely had a bottle under every sink in the home. At 70% concentration, it's strong enough to clean and disinfect, but safe enough to use around the house. And unlike many modern cleaners, the smell dissipates quickly. No artificial fragrances lingering for hours. Number 7. Frozen grapes as ice cubes. Your grandmother was serving sophisticated drinks before sophisticated was even a word. Frozen grapes instead of ice cubes. Genius. They keep your drink cold without watering it down, and when you're finished drinking, you've acquired a frozen snack. She likely discovered this serving wine at dinner parties, not wanting to dilute the good stuff with regular ice. But frozen grapes function in any drink. Kids adore them in juice or lemonade. They're perfect in sangria or white wine. Even in water, they add a subtle sweetness as they thaw. Additionally, they appear fancy. Your guests think you're some kind of entertaining genius, when genuinely you just threw some grapes in the freezer the night before. The technique is to wash and completely dry the grapes before freezing. Any moisture on the outside turns to ice and makes them stick together. Spread them on a baking sheet to freeze individually first, then transfer to a container. Your grandma likely had a permanent stash in the freezer: green grapes, red grapes, maybe even some frozen berries for variety. It's such a simple technique, but it elevates any drink from ordinary to special. Number 6. Chalk to absorb moisture. That toolbox in your grandfather's garage likely had a few pieces of chalk in it, and not for marking measurements. Chalk is a remarkable moisture absorber. Position a few pieces in your toolbox and your tools won't rust. It's that simple. The calcium carbonate in chalk naturally attracts and holds moisture from the air. Your grandparents used this technique everywhere. A piece of chalk in the silverware drawer prevents tarnishing. In the closet, it keeps clothes from getting that musty smell. In storage boxes, it prevents mildew. They likely had chalk strategically positioned all over the home. But here's the genuinely clever application: gym bags and laundry hampers. Drop a piece of chalk in there and it absorbs the moisture that causes odor. No more embarrassing smells when you open your gym bag at work. The chalk just quietly performs its job, sucking up excess moisture before bacteria can grow. And when the chalk gets saturated, just position it in the sun to dry out and it's good to go again. One box of chalk could last years, protecting thousands of dollars worth of tools, clothes, and household items. Your grandfather likely purchased chalk by the box, and it wasn't for the grandkids to draw on the sidewalk. Number 5. Coconut oil for wood furniture. Before specialty wood polishes and conditioners, there was coconut oil. Your grandmother might have called it something else, but she understood that a little oil could make old wood furniture appear new again. Coconut oil penetrates deep into the wood, moisturizing it from within and bringing out the natural grain. Grab a small amount, warm it between your hands until it liquefies, then massage it into the wood with a soft cloth. The transformation is immediate. Dried, dull wood suddenly has depth and richness. Scratches become less noticeable. The wood feels smooth and nourished instead of dry and brittle. Your grandparents likely treated all their wood furniture this way twice annually. But coconut oil does more than just make wood pretty. It genuinely protects it. The oil creates a barrier against moisture and everyday wear. It prevents cracking and splitting. And unlike some commercial products, it doesn't build up a sticky residue over time. Just pure, natural protection that smells faintly of coconut. They also used it on cutting boards, wooden spoons, and salad bowls. Anything wood that came in contact with food received the coconut oil treatment. It's food-safe, naturally antibacterial, and keeps wooden kitchen items from drying out and cracking. Number 4. Tension rod under the sink. That chaotic cabinet under your kitchen sink? Your grandmother had that figured out decades ago with one simple tension rod. Install it toward the front of the cabinet, and suddenly you've acquired a place to hang spray bottles. All your cleaning supplies are visible, accessible, and not toppling over every time you reach for something in the back. This one little technique likely saved her hours of frustration over the years. No more searching through a pile of bottles to find the one you need. No more knocking things over and having to reorganize every time. Just grab what you need and go. But she didn't stop at one rod. Maybe another one further back for dish towels or rubber gloves. Some people even position them vertically to create dividers for storing cutting boards and baking sheets. The organization possibilities are endless. Your grandmother comprehended that good organization isn't about expensive systems or custom cabinets. It's about simple, practical solutions that genuinely work. A $3 tension rod solving a problem that modern organizing systems charge $50 to fix. Number 3. Freeze soup in muffin tins. Your grandmother was meal prepping before meal prepping was trendy, but instead of plastic containers taking up the whole freezer, she used muffin tins. Pour leftover soup into muffin tins, freeze solid, then pop them out and store in freezer bags. Each soup puck is a perfect single serving. Want lunch? Grab 2 pucks. Feeding the whole family? Grab 8. It's portion control and convenience combined into one. No more defrosting an entire container of soup when you just want a bowl. This technique works for more than just soup, sauce, stock, even leftover wine for cooking. Anything liquid that you want to save in portion-controlled amounts. Your grandma likely had bags of different frozen portions, all labeled with masking tape and a pencil. But here's the genuinely smart part. Those soup pucks defrost faster than a big block of frozen soup. So you can go from frozen to hot soup in minutes instead of hours. And they stack efficiently in the freezer, taking up way less space than containers. She was essentially running a personalized frozen food section out of her freezer decades before anyone thought to sell individual soup portions in stores. Number 2. Lemon and salt for cutting boards. That wooden cutting board that's seen better days? Your grandmother could make it appear and smell brand new with just a lemon and some coarse salt. Sprinkle salt all over the board, then use half a lemon as a scrubber. The salt functions as an abrasive, while the lemon juice disinfects and deodorizes. After years of cutting onions, garlic, and raw meat, that board gets unpleasant. But this combination doesn't just clean the surface. The acid in the lemon genuinely kills bacteria that might be lurking in the tiny cuts and grooves. The salt scrubs away stains and helps the lemon penetrate deeper. Your grandma likely did this once weekly, keeping her cutting boards in service for decades. After scrubbing, she'd rinse with hot water and let it dry completely. Maybe finish with a light coating of mineral oil or coconut oil to keep the wood from drying out. This same board that she received as a wedding gift was still going strong 50 years later. Compare that to modern plastic cutting boards that get stained, scratched, and gross-looking after a year. Wood properly maintained with lemon and salt is naturally antibacterial and self-healing. Small cuts in the wood genuinely close up over time. Your grandmother understood this intuitively. Number 1. Vinegar and dish soap fruit fly trap. And here we are at number 1, the ultimate proof that your grandparents were household geniuses. Fruit flies, the plague of every kitchen in summer. But while we're purchasing sticky traps and spray, your grandmother just grabbed the apple cider vinegar and dish soap. Here's her foolproof method. Pour some apple cider vinegar in a small bowl, add a drop or two of dish soap, and leave it on the counter. The fruit flies are attracted to the vinegar because it smells like fermenting fruit, but the dish soap breaks the surface tension of the liquid. When they land to take a sip, they fall right in and can't escape. It's diabolical in its simplicity. Within hours, that bowl is full of fruit flies. Problem solved. No chemicals, no expensive traps, just 2 things you already have in your kitchen. Your grandma likely had one of these traps going all summer long just as a preventive measure. But here's what genuinely makes this number 1. It represents everything about your grandparents' approach to household problems. They observed, they experimented, they found solutions using what they had. They didn't rush to the store every time something came up. They figured it out. This fruit fly trap is the perfect example of their ingenuity. And there you have it, 25 household tricks that your grandparents used every single day without even thinking about it. These aren't just old-fashioned ideas that sort of work. These are proven solutions that are often superior to what we use today. They're cheaper, safer, and in most cases, more effective. The genuine genius is that your grandparents figured all this out without the internet, without tutorials, without life hack videos. They just paid attention, shared knowledge with their neighbors, and weren't afraid to experiment. So, next time you're about to purchase some expensive specialty product, ask yourself what your grandma would have done. The answer might surprise you. If you found even one tip in here helpful, smash that subscribe button because we've got plenty more where these came from. And drop a comment telling us which trick you're going to try first. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.